excited to be here to do
My
this.
name is Laura Foster.
Guitar player extraordinaire slash resident fun guy at Northside Baptist
Trio
Church.
Quinn. I'm actually Charlie's cousin.
Bill Baker. Eddie
Baines Blanton. I'm a junior at Lowndes High
Drew
School.
Peterson. I'm a student at Lowndes High School.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm so glad to have you on today. If you could just introduce yourself and we'll just keep on going.
Okay. My name is Heidi Bryant. I am a teacher here in a professional women's life group. I've been going to Northside for over 10 years now. So
Wow.
I love...
A decade. Good luck.
Yeah.
So you've seen it change then.
Yes,
Like, there's been a lot of changes and stuff that happen
Yeah,
here.
it's great.
So when it comes to your testimony, you know, what is that about?
Well, Charlie, I started out when I was younger. I was saved when I was in elementary school. I didn't grow up where my parents went to church every Sunday, but my mama planted the seed of need to go to church. And so my middle sister, and I would visit different vacation Bible schools over the years. And one faithful day, we went to the altar call and got saved together. And that was many, many years ago. But I didn't get baptized till I was an adult. About 10 years ago, actually. A little over 10 years ago. So I had pretty much, I come from a family, good sized family, 2 brothers, 2 sisters. I'm the baby.
Wow.
So, yep. But we pretty much, we didn't, like I said, we didn't grow up in church. So, but visiting those vacation Bible schools planted all those seeds for me. For years, I kind of walked in my own direction.
Yeah.
I knew that something was different. Later on, I figured that out. It was the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
But I also chose to do my own thing and walk my own way. And later on, whenever I got married and I had a son, I pretty much surrendered after that. I became a single parent after that. My son is now almost 19.
Wow.
So, yeah, he just graduated. So, I became a single parent when he was 2.
Yeah.
And that kind of was a pivotal moment for me. The Lord,
Because you had to step up there.
I did. I did. I had to. I wanted him to have that firm foundation.
Yeah.
That I knew he needed to have. And I felt the Lord drawing me back to church. Started going back to church. Shortly after that, got baptized. Visited Northside. My brother actually told me to come listen to Pastor Robbie. Pastor Robbie had just come shortly before I came. And after that, pretty much that ball started rolling, and it was time to, I knew the Lord wanted me to be here.
So you really kind of got to watch Pastor Robbie as he kind of, you know, I guess made Northside like kind of his like church home, like, you know, started like kind of, you know, seeing how things are, you know, how people are going to receive him and things like that. That was a treat, I bet.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, he's
and
awesome.
Watch how he's kind of, you know, maybe not really changed his preaching style, but how he's gotten better over the years, things like that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But when it comes to, and you've talked about coming to the Northside, but you know, you're part of a shop group.
Yes.
And you know, Mom's a part of it. You know, that's kind of we got this interview rolling. Why is SHOPPE so important to you?
I love SHOPPE because it takes different women throughout the church that wouldn't maybe normally talk or see each other, and it just blends them all together. So it kind of forces you to get out of your comfort zone, and get to know other people in the church. And it just you find you have different things in common with all these women. No matter what season of life you're in, you just kind of grow close to them, and you get that sisterhood going, and it's just a blessing. And that after SHOPPE ends, you don't stop there. You move forward, and you know, like your mom, I love her. I feel like she's somebody I will have in my life for a very long time.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
So I really care and love your mom, but you know, there's just other women in there that just need encouraging and need support, and prayer. So for me, it's beyond just meeting up, you know, once a month.
And, it's so
important.
And I love that she's doing that now because, of course, she has her group of friends from high school. They're great people. And I'm not saying they're not Christian because they are, but, for her to have the group from the church,
yes,
to be a part of, it makes me so happy. And
it's
so funny because, like, a lot of stuff, most of the stuff at Northside, I'm involved in it in some capacity. So it's nice for her to have her thing that she's involved in at Northside, and I not have my paws in it, because I have most of the stuff that she's up here for. I've got my hands in some capacity.
That's right.
And I know she's met a lot of great people there.
Oh, she's wonderful.
And the place that y'all were having your life groups at, she showed me some of the decorations that are there for Christmas.
Yes,
it looked
it's
amazing.
Fabulous. Yes.
Like. Because is it a lake house over in Lake Park near the area?
It's Jennifer Williams' house in Lake Park, and it's just filled with. It looks like a winter wonderland. Mm-hmm. So beautiful trees and decorations, and it's just beautiful. It's a wonderful spot to be able to visit.
Mm-hmm. And I was like,
be with them.
Because she was like, I'm gonna take some inspiration from these trees from ours, and she did. She's already started doing that. I'm like,
that's good.
Oh my gosh! Like you act fast on that, don't you?
Oh yeah, that's right. One more week and we're in December anyway.
I know, isn't that crazy?
So, yes, it is.
So
crazy.
when it comes to Northside, if you had to say one favorite part, what is it?
Oh man,
I know that's hard. It's hard to do.
Charlie put me on the spot. I would say the love of God's people in this place is so evident. Mm-hmm. The Holy Spirit is always here and always moving in the people that are here. And I never knew what it was like to have a church family until I came here.
Yeah.
You're doing life with everybody. I mean, you're walking this walk in seasons of your life. So for me, the love of God is just so present here in people that it just draws you here. And that's why I think you love coming and I love coming. And just, being a part of it. So it just draws you so close.
I mean, because,
other people.
I was thinking, because I've only been to Northside, I've been to a few other churches, but, not like Northside or whatever. And I'm like, it'd be weird to go somewhere else. Like, this is what I know, and I love going to, see all these
like
different
home,
people.
It
does.
Yeah.
And, me and my friend Baines, we've talked about it, we're like, we'd rather have school here. Like, we don't want to go to, we don't want to go to Lowndes. We want to go to Northside and have school,
Yes, that's right.
Because, having and working with everybody over the summer, and I don't want to make school sound like I'm just like, I just don't like it. Because I don't mind it. But, there is some days that I do want to scream my head off.
Right. Yeah.
It was weird, though, because it was like, over the summer, I knew what a different 9 to 5 looked like. Because for years, school was my, like, day routine, and that was it. But then I went to Northside, worked with them. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this so much better. And like, it was because it was so fun, and I was enjoying myself about what I was doing, and it made me think about like so many people don't enjoy their jobs. Like, and there's going to be kids that are going to get out of high school and they're going to just find something to do because they need money. Yeah. And I'm like,
absolutely.
Find something that you're going to like doing.
You're absolutely right. You got to love what you do. Mm-hmm. If you love what you do, never work a day in your life. Have you ever heard that?
Yep.
So,
and now, I won't say that I didn't work, but, I did enjoy every bit of it. Because, like, and I said that in the live episode, you don't know what you're going to do. For sure. Like, my title was the youth BD specialist. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was my title, But, we cleaned out stuff. We, had to, get waters for the choir and all that. That was one of the first things we did was make a Sam's run for water. Only water. Right. 14 to 16 big cases of the 40s. Like,
was much appreciated, I can tell you that.
I was like, oh my gosh. And that was before I was in the choir.
Right.
So like, and now I realize how much water they drink. But I didn't quite understand.
Yes.
But I was like, because Jeff gets it for the worship area, but it's needed.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, my word. At the water these guys go through, and it's not even cold. It's, it's room temperature.
I know, yeah.
You
need plenty to be able to sing, and,
you do.
It's much needed. So.
Yeah, on these Christmas songs, I've kind of strained myself a few times. Like, I think I, pulled something right here. I was like, ow. I was like, whoops. I know Jeff said not to strain yourself, but apparently I did.
Well, it's hard not to get excited about singing for Christmas, so and, it's awesome.
And I know that not everybody knows the song yet, but I do. Like, I believe, with the new Phil Wickham song we're singing now.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Mom love that song so much. And
good.
And we've been singing it back and forth because he's trying to get the choir to learn it.
Right.
And I've been loving doing that.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Miss Melissa, she looked over and she was like, you were jamming, weren't you? I'm like, I was. But
I love it.
So, what's your favorite memory when it comes to Northside? Like, is there just one? Like, I know there's a bunch, but like one particular is like,
I would have to say because when I first started coming, I know everybody gets scared when they're coming back to church.
Yeah.
If they've been out for a while, they get scared about coming back. They don't want to be judged. They feel like they're going to be. But I think whenever the professional women's class started, and Miss Laura started that class, Miss Laura Foster. When I started back to church, I was actually in a couples class. One of my sisters had asked me to come in her class. Mm-hmm. But then it was shortly after that women's class opened. Mm-hmm. And that was like a game changer for me. Mm-hmm. Being in a group of women, it almost kind of counteract, or I guess it's similar to SHOPPE, in a way. Yeah. And I've always felt like drawn to women's ministry. So whenever I went to that class, it was like, this is kind of, a pivotal moment for me. I started growing, serving, and when you're serving, sometimes you don't realize you're growing. Right. So over time, then I started to substitute here and there in that class. And my first thoughts were, you sure you got the right person?
It's like, you sure you do it? Yeah, like, you sure you got the right person for the job here?
Right. But then I started singing in the choir. I felt the Lord pulling me there, and just different places. Over the years, I've gone to mission trips. Absolutely love. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of memories I could share with you that are pivotal. But I guess my main thing would be that to start with, because just going into an all women's class, because you need that support and encouragement in your life group or Sunday school, and I found it. It's like I connected. Yeah. And I think everybody might have that moment in church. Yeah. I hope they do. That they feel like they belong. This is it. Mm-hmm. That home feeling we were talking about.
It was funny because for a little bit, when I first came, I was like, okay, I got to get my groove. I got to start meeting people because I feel kind of out of place at the moment. Yes. But and I kind of, and it's just the same way with anything, right? Yeah. And that was kind of that way. And but they treated me great. Talking about when I worked this summer, but I did feel kind of out of place because I they got their groove, and there's this new guy coming in.
That's right.
And it's like, you don't want to mess it up.
Yeah, you feel like it's the first day of school, and you're the new kid starting.
Right. Exactly.
And, I make it my mission to make someone feel comfortable coming to church or coming to class. Yeah. Because it took a lot to get there sometimes. You don't know what people are going through. So sometimes they're like, I really want to, I'm feeling drawn to come back to church. Well, make that easier for them. Yeah. Let them feel loved and welcome. I guarantee you they're coming back. Right. So.
And it was so funny. Like I was, I was making sure what I was wearing was good, and which was a good thing. But I was because I got this opportunity and I did not want to mess it up.
That's
I was
right. A lot of pressure
because, I won't get into it too much, but because at one point it was taken, somebody else had taken the job.
Oh wow!
And so, and then Pastor Jeff was like, "Hey, something changed," so it opened up, and I was like, "Okay, yep, I'll take it." And so even though I wasn't paid at the time because I don't drive yet,
right.
It didn't matter. I was enjoying myself.
I love it.
And I was, I didn't tell Noah this, but I was so upset the day I left. I about cried. I was because I was enjoying myself the whole summer. I was and coming to work every day and, having these conversations with Noah every morning because he came and picked me up from my house. Yeah. And, I was just enjoying every bit of it because I was soaking up all that information and experience in. And it's like, where can you get better experience than these guys right here?
That's right.
And I was getting to sit in the staff meetings and stuff.
Yeah.
People think those are boring. No, they're long, but they're not boring. At least in my brain, they're not.
That's right.
Because you're getting to hear all the stuff that is going to affect the whole congregation and every church member months in advance. We were talking about the Bible conference in one of the ones and that's going to be in March.
Right.
So
right.
And I was and Miss Brenda told me this. She was like, he talked about, Pastor Robbie talked about your podcast thing, and the staff was like, what? He did what? And I was shocked. I was like, he did what now? But yeah.
Well, you're literally in the middle of ministry. And, on the way here, I was trying to think, what should I say to Charlie? Yeah. Because I want to encourage you. And, one of the main things I want to tell you is that I love how you're on mission with God. And I believe in your ministry. It's God's ministry, but He has chosen you to be a part of it, to lead it. So I see that you're just on fire for the Lord. the love of God just spills out.
Yeah.
So keep going, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I plan to. I don't know what episode. I think this is going to be maybe episode 58. So we're close to 60 already.
Congratulations.
And and it was funny. I remember I interviewed Mom, and she was like, "Why do you interview me?" I'm like, "Oh, trust me, people are gonna love it." And she's like, "Nobody's gonna look at it 100 views later." I love
that.
And it's like one of the top 10. I'm like, "I told you."
I love that. Yes.
And it was so funny.
Oh,
and I've had some people they get nervous about it. And I'm like, "You're just talking to me. That's all you're doing."
That's right.
So I guess people freak out because I got this mic now. I used to not have it, and I'm like, all you're doing is talking to me. That's all you're doing.
You're perfect for the job.
Yeah, well, I hope so.
Chosen.
Yeah. And because somebody else, it was another podcaster I was talking to, because I have a group of podcasters, we collaborate and stuff, and he said that he was like, in his brain he said, he was not the first person God called to do this, but then he was like in line, and the rest of them just refused to not do it or didn't do it the way God wanted. So, but they knew that God was like, you're going to do it how I want you to do it, so you're going to do it.
Yeah. If your heart is open and you're a willing vessel, God will use you in so many different ways. Mm-hmm. He'll take you in so many different directions. You're like, how did I get here? Yeah,
I'm still mind blown by that 1 year. The pastor probably allowed me to do it. You know? And then right after that, I'm getting the opportunity to do the same thing at FCA right at Lowndes High School.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like,
congratulations.
What? You want me to do what now? Because it's different when you're in front of your peers.
Oh, yeah. He opens doors.
He does.
So,
and I'm excited for that. But now we're going to go into questions when it comes to our youth, because I want to pick your brain about
That's fine. Please do.
So when it comes to our youth, do you see hope, or are you worried about the future?
Well, I feel like there is hope, but we also need to be the salt and the light that we're called to be. Mm-hmm. The world is a lot different from how it was when I grew up.
Yeah. A ton. Younger. Yeah.
So it can be very hard to grow up in this world and not be influenced heavily. And I do think it's important to have some type of support. That's why being connected. Church is not just about visiting church. Yeah. It's about being connected, getting encouraged, being supported, and that's important for youth nowadays. Yeah. Just being locked in, because if you don't have hope out there, where are you going to find it?
Right.
And I mean, Jesus always gives us hope, but it does help even more to be connected to a church body that is on the same page, like-minded. So I don't fear for the future for the youth. I believe we are overcomers, and together we're stronger in numbers, right? Yeah. And you can do a lot. I mean, we're two or more gathered, right? So, I don't think it's anything to be scared or worried about, because I mean, God has already overcome this world. So,
and I'll tell you, like, when I did because I got questions from Lowndes kids, for the 1 year, and they still ask me questions now.
Oh yeah,
because of that.
Yeah,
and sometimes I do want to smack them over the head with my Bible, but I just like, listen to me.
It's hard.
I mean, it definitely is, because they feel like they've maybe found the right answer, whether it be in drugs, smoking, whatever.
That's right. Yeah.
Because I mean, I know a lot of kids are like that. They're great kids. They're not bad people.
Right.
They just they fall into the wrong crowds. They fell into the wrong thing.
Right.
And they know it's like in the back of their mind. They know it's wrong. Or they know it caused consequences. They just don't know how to get out. And I'm like, I told you the answer, but you just didn't listen to me or take that next step.
I know it can be frustrating. But I think about how merciful and graceful that God is with us. Yeah. I'm sure He's wanted to beat us over the head with the Bible plenty of times.
I'm sure.
But at the same time, that's where being invested in someone comes in. It's taking that time, having those hard conversations.
And that might take years, which I've already started to figure that out. I've already started to figure that. Yeah. I've already figured that out. It might take a while.
Right.
Just with my own family in some aspects, I'm like, my gosh, this is going to take a while, but you know what? We're here for the long run. Let's do it.
That's right.
But when, some advice that you would give to the youth, because we face a ton of stuff, like you said, there's stuff's going on that, didn't happen when you were like our age. And so, especially with social media and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what advice would you give if someone walked up to you and said, I am... like that was a youth or college. They said, I'm struggling to navigate this world, for God in a biblical way. What would you tell them?
I would definitely take the time to sit down with them and tell them, anything negative is from the enemy. Mm-hmm. So, and those darts are going to be thrown at you every single day.
Yeah.
If they wanted to, we could start. That's just a gateway to talking about Jesus right there. Door flies open. And you can say, look, I have hope because I've been saved and I've been born again. I'm serving at Northside, or, I just feel a connection there. Why don't you come and join me some Sunday or Wednesday night, or, invite them to the Christmas program we have coming up. But to me, investment is the biggest thing. I even tell this to the ladies in class. If you're new, I'm not going to let you go sit out there in a pew by yourself.
Nope.
Or I'm not going to let you walk to that sanctuary alone. Because people crave that needing to be supported and together.
Yeah.
So I would say, definitely any negativity is not from the Lord.
No.
The enemy, and when you get saved, the enemy will leave you alone as long as you're lost. But as soon as you get saved, buddy, it's on then. The warfare begins. But at the same time, that's where the support and encouragement, God's word, getting connected, being a life group, being consistent to come to church and in your walk, that's where that's going to definitely pay off.
Yeah.
Because you're going to feel that the Holy Spirit is with you. You're never alone. You're going to have a different outlook. But it takes some time to get there. We have a lot of negative in the world. So
we do. And, that's kind of one of the main reasons why if I do a podcast on Wednesdays, it's before Noah preaches, or I do them on Thursdays, because I used to do them, schedule them right in the middle of it, because a lot of times it would be a choir member or whatever, so I could do it. And I felt so bad because a lot of times I'd invite a friend, but I couldn't be there for the whole thing, and I'm like, that's not right. Even though they know it's important